You're 45. You haven't really saved for retirement yet. Someone tells you about catch-up contributions and you feel a wave of relief. Extra room waiting for you at 50, a lever Congress built for people exactly like you. Then you run the math. Catch-up only recovers about 9 cents on every dollar that compounding charged you for starting late. So let's run it cleanly. You're 45 today. Your 401k balance is zero. You sit down and commit to the most aggressive retirement plan a regular job allows. You max your 401k every year. The day you turn 50, you switch on standard catch-up. Every extra dollar Congress lets you contribute. The day you turn 60, you switch on the new super catch-up. An even higher limit just for ages 60 to 63. You hold all of that for 20 years. No missed years, no bear market panic, no life event that derails the plan. The cleanest version of starting late. What do you actually end up with at 65? Here's the math you've never seen run honestly. Ages 45 through 49. You max the standard 401k limit. In 2026, that's $24,500 a year. 5 years, growing at a historical average 7%. You hit your 50th birthday with about $141,000. Year you turn 50. Catch-up unlocks. The 2026 catch-up adds $8,000 on top of the standard limit. Your annual contribution jumps to $32,500. You hold that for 10 years. Year you turn 60. Secure 2.0's Super Catch-Up kicks in. For ages 60 through 63, the catch-up balloons from $8,000 to $11,250. Your annual contribution climbs to $35,750. You hold that for 4 years. Years 64 and 65. Super catch-up ends. You drop back to the standard catch-up. Total contribution, $32,500 a year for 2 final years. 20 years. Every limit maxed. Every catch-up used. Average 7% return. Final balance at 65. Roughly $1.34 million. That sounds like a happy ending. Now look at it next to the math you didn't run. Same maxing plan, started at 25 instead of 45. Same $24,500 a year, no catch-up needed. 40 years instead of 20. Final balance, $4.9 million. So catch-up contributions, every extra dollar Congress created for late starters, recovered about $334,000 of what time charged you. The total cost of starting 20 years late was around $3.6 million. The catch-up bought back roughly 9% of it. It's not that catch-up doesn't help. It's that catch-up is not a recovery tool. It's a softener. Call it the soft landing. Catch-up contributions don't get you to where you would have been. They make where you actually land less painful. 3 versions of how this actually plays out. Most people are not the clean version. Best case. You execute the plan exactly as described. You max every limit, including super catch-up. Markets cooperate at 7%. You finish at $1.34 million. With Social Security on top, that supports a comfortable middle-class retirement. Worst case. You hit 50 thinking, I'll start catch-up next year. Cash flow is tight. Next year becomes the year after. You skip catch-up for the first 5 years and only start at 55. Your employer never adopts the super catch-up option, so the $11,250 window doesn't exist at your job. Standard contributions only. Same 7% return. Final balance, around $850,000. The most likely case. You're disciplined for 12 of the 20 years. Life happens for the other 8. A kid's college, a roof, a stretch of unemployment, a year where you finally take the family trip. You hit catch-up some years, skip it others, and never quite figure out if your plan offers super catch-up. Final balance somewhere between $950,000 and $1.1 million. That's the range. Roughly $1 million on the realistic end, $850 on the wobbly end, 1.3 on the heroic end. None of them are the $4.9 million the early starter walked away with. None of them are failures either. The time tax, what compounding charges you for starting late, is the largest line item in any late starter's retirement plan. No contribution limit refunds it. You are not behind because you were lazy. You're behind because the math punishes hesitation more than it punishes almost anything else. It's not your effort, it is the structure of the numbers. Here's the part most videos skip. The catch-up contribution exists, but almost nobody uses it. The most recent Vanguard data shows that 98% of 401k plans offer catch-up contributions. Only 16% of eligible workers actually make them. The lever Congress built for late starters mostly sits unpulled. Starting in 2026, if you earn more than $145,000, your catch-up contributions are no longer a tax deduction. They have to go into the Roth side of your 401k. You pay the tax this year, and the money grows tax-free for the rest of your life. The structure changed quietly in the background. You can still use catch-up. The math just runs differently than your parents' math did. One more thing nobody flags. The super catch-up, that bigger $11,250 window for ages 60 to 63, astounded, is optional for employers. Your plan has to specifically adopt it. A lot of plans haven't. The 4 years where catch-up nearly triples. It might not exist at your job. Worth one HR email to find out. 3 takeaways. 1. Catch-up contributions are a soft landing, not a recovery. They make starting late less expensive. They do not make it equal to starting early. 2. If you're going to use them, use every one. Standard age 50 catch-up, super catch-up at 60. The 16% who pull all 3 levers end up dramatically ahead of the 84% who let the limits expire unused. 3. Stop waiting for the perfect year to start. The time tax compounds quietly while you're deciding. Tonight, before you go to sleep, do one thing. Log into your 401k. Find your contribution percentage. Raise it by 1%. Set it to take effect this paycheck. That single click moves you from the 84% to the 16%. If you found this useful, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more simple explanations.